Welcome back, gamers. In this video, we have finally brought you our opinion on the mouse and keyboard and the controller debate. Don't get upset. We're going to go through all the details and let you know what we think so everyone else will stop talking about it. Now, before you start running to those comments and telling me this isn't fair, Ems, you can't do a video on this. Yes, I can. We're going to talk about the pros and cons, and guess what? We're not going to do any crying today. No crying at all. Let's go ahead and get in front of it and let's talk about every type of feedback on both inputs and just get these out of the way first and foremost. Mouse and keyboard players get to use their entire arm. I mean, can you believe it? You can use your entire arm to play a video game. I couldn't believe it until I used it 20 years ago, but I get to use this whole arm. That's why, look at this clip. Oh yeah, that's because my whole arm. That's why. Controller players have 0.60 aim assist, and guess what? That basically makes them a walking aimbot. Guess what? If you're in the vicinity of them, close range, you're getting aimbotted. That's it. That's it. We covered it all. Now we're going to tell you why you should stop whining and what you should focus on based off of which input you're currently using. Last little fact that you should know is Respawn makes mainly console games. So if you're thinking they're going to nerf aim assist, which is one of their highest grossing platforms, you're sadly mistaken. Could it be tuned down? Sure. Does it need to be tuned down? Maybe. But with that being said, let's go over how your playstyle impacts. That way you can stop whining and you can start winning. I know everyone hates this part, but I do want to stop real quick and thank everyone. We have grown to over 1,100 subs in just 6 months with all of the great tutorials, all the great legend reviews on this channel. So I just want to thank all of you for taking that time to watch these. I appreciate any and all feedback on all of these videos. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, drop them below. I answer every single comment. They're coming from me and not AI. I will respond. Now, I've played on mouse and keyboard for over 20 years, and yeah, go ahead and call me a boomer in the comments. Go ahead and do it. I dare you. With that being said, we have played multiple games at high level. Most of them have been M&K only. So again, we're going to see some issues with having controllers in this game, but it was built for it. So guess what you do? You make the adjustments. If you pair that up with the amount of cheating right now, which you really can't tell who's cheating, who's not, most of the time, the cheaters are actually using cheats and they're not on a controller. What you have to do is adapt, put in the time, put in the practice. If you think the input's why you're not very good, that's on you, buddy. What you need to do is get to the firing range, okay? Okay. I think far too often people are so focused on what input people are on instead of just improving their current gameplay. If you're on a controller, what you really should be focused on is taking close range fights at all costs. That is the benefit, and so basically pairing yourself with a M&K player at long range will make the difference. We understand the disadvantage on controllers is the long range aim assist, and so making sure that you put yourself in a position to close that gap quickly, picking legends to close that gap quickly is what's going to benefit you the most. If you're on mouse and keyboard, to be fair with you, the reason you're not winning most team fights is because you're not able to do any damage long range, and you're pushing teams and most likely dying to them on a controller after doing no damage. So when you're not closing the gap and you're taking massive amounts of damage, no surprise that when you get close range, you get fried. We spend so much time talking about how many issues we have with both inputs. I think ultimately the bigger problem we have is the amount of cheating that's still happening in Season 20. We have multiple cheaters with multiple pred badges, and it's just not changing. And I think pairing that up with people that are just better than you really creates an environment for a whole lot of whining and complaining. So in reality, I really just want to make this video to let you know that on both inputs have their pros and cons, but I don't think either one of them are truly overpowering the other. Yes, it's very frustrating to get fried from someone long range with a flatline or a 301. Just as equally, it's annoying to get fried close range with a wingman, a 99, or a car from someone on a controller. So all you really need to do is focus on making better in-game adjustments to compensate for the fact that you're on a different input. And is that fair? I think so. Compare that to any other type of game, whether it's Valorant, whether it's Counter-Strike. People have specific roles, and so you need to make sure you're adapting to those roles if you want to win more games. So although no changes have really been made on either mouse and keyboard or controller, the issue still just goes back every time to people would rather complain about their input rather than the real issue, which in my opinion is your gameplay, your game sense, and unfortunately the fact that we have a ton of cheaters running around every single lobby. So my real advice to you is spend a little bit more time in the firing range perfecting whatever your current craft is. I'm on mouse and keyboard, and I will tell you it is really hard sometimes not to get super frustrated. But when you sit back and look and review VODs, if you're a content creator or you're a streamer, you can really find the gaps in your gameplay very quickly and really just determine that you could have made a better play. This season has changed again as well, so really going in there and dropping a -60 every time you drop because you made a poor decision makes it even more frustrating, and we end up with even more debates about the mouse and keyboard and controller. With that being said, I really just wanted to make this video to let all of you know that I respect your input and whatever you're doing to perfect your current craft. So rather than going to social media and complaining that mouse and keyboard's better or controller's better, spend that time in the firing range improving your aim and your gameplay. Now, I know some of you in the comments are still going to tell me, but it's just not fair, and I'm going to tell you, life ain't fair. Life is never going to be fair, so you improve on your own. With all the negativity and the challenges in the world, I thought this video would bring a little bit of light because I think there's positive things about both, and gaming really should be a fun thing to do. So make sure that you're using this to break some stress, enjoy your life, and spend less time complaining. Just spend more time getting better. We'll see you next Sunday with another video. Thank you. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. Share this with your controller and M&K friends.